Are we live? Hello, poodles! It is me, Wilma Fingerdoo, the suet pudding, and the one and only Wilma bazoomed Chloe Demure, aka Save the Victory Roll, in the brand new Denise Gjernoe design Wilma Vira, where I'm all dressed up like a redheaded Elvira, mistress of the dark. Thank you so much for buying one, Chloe. It looks great on you. And those are available at my RedBubble store, which there's a link to it in the description box down below right now. And I want to welcome Candice Gregoris, my birthday twin, and my illegitimate drag daughter, Wilma Fingerdoo. And, and she's moderating. So if you have questions, if you have inquiries, insights, a song in your heart you want to share, she will be monitoring that and letting us know so we don't miss anything, because clearly Chloe and I are in the middle of being more beautiful than we already are. And today, because Chloe and I seem to be on a roll, every time we find a palette to review, the company closes. So in our Death and Destruction tour, we are continuing today with Milan Rowe. And Milan Rowe did this fabulous palette a long time ago. It is the Poison Ivy palette. Now, when this first came out, there was a kerfuffle. This is Doodles by the Bunny and Milan Rowe. So Doodles by the Bunny created this lovely modeled. This is the case, the box. The case is exactly the same with the printing has leaves on it. It's lovely. The back has ingredients. It's lovely. It's your typical. But Doodles created this storyline for the palette, and it's lovely. One of the things I'm excited about is this glitter right here. I'm not a big fan of glitter, but this is such a beautiful orangey, yellowy green glitter that I'm excited. This pan retailed for almost 50 bucks, or just over 50 bucks American, and went on sale a month ago, Chloe? Yeah. A month ago, and for 12 bucks. Neither Chloe or myself got it. It was one of those palettes that you either were going to get it, or then the kerfuffle started and you weren't sure what you were doing. So it may have had something to do with the company, but it went tits up. And so on Instagram, they had an ad, 60% off. The palette was 12 bucks. Chloe said, let's do a video together, and she ordered them for us. So they finally arrived. And I'm going to start off by saying there was another palette that Milan Rowe did, but I don't remember its name right now. But they did do an other palette. I'm not familiar with them as a company. I'm not familiar with their formula. I'm holding my breath, because I think for a lot of these people, these companies, especially if they go tits up, yes, it could be marketing. Yes, it could be word of mouth, lack of creating a new mousetrap type of thing. But I think it also has to do with, if you have a good product, people will talk about it. And I feel like this product wasn't well talked about. I just don't remember anyone using it. I tried to look up old videos on YouTube of people doing tutorials. There's some, but not as many as some products. So I feel like there's a lot of reasons why this company went down. And because of that, I have to say, I am a little nervous to use this. I'm not expecting great things from it, especially because this is a green palette. First of all, I do like this plastic insert. It's not. That's
cool, right?
This is three-dimensional. It actually has insets of the pan shapes, so it goes in and presses down on the colors so they don't move. So even if there's explosions and that, like we get in some pans, they're not going to go far beyond the pan itself. So I love that.
Darcy.
But this storyline. What's that, Chloe?
Darcy, I said, hey, Darcy.
Oh, Darcy. Hey, Darcy Stryker. How are you?
She wants to know if those are some pressed glitters in
I don't.
One. I think there's one.
This is me swiping it on my finger once.
Yeah.
Is it a pressed glitter? I feel like it's in something.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say that's a pressed glitter. Like
yeah, but it's not the gel it's not the gel formula. No. It's the type that's more trying to be more like an eyeshadow, but it's still a
putty quality. Like you can press into it.
It's still a glitter.
But I don't know. I don't use a lot of pressed glitter, so I don't know.
Yeah.
The differences between them. but it is the only one in the pan. I like that. I like that they you know, hey, we'll throw one in. Christmas comes around once a year, so does a pressed glitter. So here you go.
I think that's why I didn't buy it ultimately, was because I'm not usually a fan of pressed glitter. So I think for the $50 plus there being a pressed glitter, I think that's why I didn't get it. But now that I'm playing with it, it's like, no, it's the good type, the one that you can actually use and won't be like a rain.
Well, I'm going to try it today for sure.
Yeah.
And then,
beautiful.
But the rest of the palette, like I feel like one of the reasons I may not have bothered with this is I have a lot of better tones of these colors in other palettes, like Beauty Bay's Wilderness palette. I feel is more drag queen friendly for me. This just doesn't look like it's going to pack a lot of punch. I'm not saying it's not going to be beautiful, but for stage, I feel like some of it would get washed out.
Yeah. Hey, Sylvia, glad you can finally make it. That's awesome. So excited.
Yeah, we've got a lot of really great people joining us today.
Is Sylvia Manrow there? That's hilarious.
Yeah, Sylvia. Chuck was able to make it.
Chuck Mizzledine. How are you, Chuck?
And we've got the wonderful Martha Anastasia.
She's not so wonderful. She knows what.
Oh, nice.
She's wearing her Saints, Angels, Sinners palette today.
Oh, lovely. Oh, lovely. That's a great palette.
And also, of course, Martha Grunwald with us. Say good morning.
How are you, Martha? Martha's been following the sales and texting me. What do you think?
She's my other.
Buy it all. That's what I think.
Yeah, she's my other enabler. We may or may not have done an unearthly order, and we may.
I heard about whether or not you did one.
We may or may not have that undead palette.
I'll tell you right now.
Hello.
Us here, Erica Conger.
Hey, Erica Conger. Is this Erica's first time at one of my lives? I'm so honored.
Let us know.
Erica's got a great YouTube channel.
She does.
She does these great murder videos. She comes from, it's not Ohio, Oregon.
Oregon.
Oh.
I think it's Oregon. Oh God, Erica, am I wrong? But it's crimes from her state, and which, first of all, Erica, there's a lot of murders going on in your state. I would move. I think I would follow my daughter to wherever the hell she moved and get the hell out of that dangerous part of the country. But I really love them because they're just about these local crimes. So there are a lot of cases like those are the ones that are really the more gruesome. They are the ones for me where I'm like, oh, small towns, don't hold your breath. Those are the worst. I am just getting ready to put my makeup on. One thing that I'm doing is I put foundation on, but I ran out of shade sticks from Juvia. I have to buy some. I have some that are too dark, and what I want to do is get a lighter one and mix them on my palette. I'm just waiting for a sale. And apparently, Chloe said there is one right now, but I'm not checking it out. What I am using, though, is P. Louise in one of the budget boxes that I got over the years. Sent one of these. This is one of their cosmetic paints, and it is in the shade, I don't know, brown.
Brown.
I don't know. I don't care. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't care. I know you all do, but I already own it, so I don't much care what. Oh, here it is. I'm looking for my fabulous
Steph. Hey, Steph.
magnifying glass.
Here.
Hey, Steph. Not Your Basic Steph on YouTube. Check her out.
Mm-hmm.
She is not basic.
Not at all. No. Yeah. No, I've been liking this Gerard Cosmetics, their eye base. It's amazing. I need to get some more.
This is weird. This I don't know what color this is. It's not telling me, but it's a brown, and it's just from their cosmetic paints. It just says P. Louise paints. And this came in one of the budget boxes, but I've been using it for my base contouring and that because it's a cream and it actually blends out with a brush. I've been using a dry brush for it, and I'm really impressed with how it's been working. I actually think I like using this more than I like using the shade sticks from.
Oh wow!
Juvia's place. So this is the thing, Chloe and I are on a no-buy this year, and we both promised ourselves that we wouldn't be buying a lot of makeup, but we did. We bought some, not a lot, way less than we could have. I think I broke down and I bought 2 budget boxes and a palette from Artitude, and then we also had to buy those palettes before the companies went bankrupt. So not a lot comparatively, a lot of bargains, a lot of, I think we saved money shopping situations. But that said, I don't feel like I've saved any money.
Heather has joined us, so I just want to say hello to Heather.
Hey, Heather.
So how's everybody this fine Saturday?
Oh, and Dan Eli here too.
Hey, Dan.
Thanks for the gift too, Dan.
Aw, thank you.
Did Dan give us a tip or do?
Yeah, looks like.
Nice. Thank you, Dan. Yeah, it's rent day tomorrow. Oh, it's also National Trust and Reconciliation Day. It's also Orange Shirt Day.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's the 3rd occurrence of the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, which also coincides with Orange Shirt Day, which I'm wearing an orange shirt, but I'm not on camera, so I can't see. But trust me,
And believe.
What's going on.
Candace is decked out.
Yeah.
Chloe and I will both be changing into an orange shirt later.
Yeah, we had at work
blouses,
yesterday.
tops, something like that. I have to say, it's my favorite color. And when I heard the story about the orange shirt, how a student going into one of the schools, those residential schools, I can't believe how late into the 90s they were operating. It makes me sick to my stomach that Canada allowed that to go on. That's disgusting.
Yeah, it was.
I can't be more supportive of anything than Orange Shirt Day and National Trust and Reconciliation. I've been following the story about the community in out west getting that totem pole back from Scotland.
Yeah, that's
lovely.
Great. That's
yeah,
great news.
Scotland was very, very
apologetic.
No, helpful in getting it over. Like they
absolutely
they did everything they could to help make it happen. Because it's a huge freaking totem pole. They have to take it, like it comes down in parts, but they have to ship it. It was shipped in metal crates with like wood sides.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll bet you they got a huge rate from a FedEx because I couldn't have shipped that. That must have been a heck of a.
I wouldn't be surprised if people, if some companies just did it in support. Like they may not have had to pay, because it wasn't just a Canada thing. Unfortunately, this also happened in the US. And,
sure.
And there were versions of this type of school in Africa. I mean, it's been pretty much everywhere, but I think it's more documented and worse.
There's the shame bell.
Yeah.
I remember as a child, we were talking about colonization, and because Canada at the time was still a colony, we hadn't been released, but it was it just staggered me that people were going into these countries where people had religions and everything set up and then saying, no, you're wrong. Oh, aren't you lucky that you're so right?
Yeah. No, the
school so ignorant. I remember as a child, it angered me. Like, well, I didn't know about the schools or any of the history that was going on. But when you think back over the history of Canada and how dismissed the Indigenous population, the First Nations people of Canada have been, it starts to make sense that, yeah, this has all been smoke screening, We're just going to say hateful things about them all. And, oh, there they go, blocking us to the dump. It's like they're looking for their sisters. How dare you? How dare you get in the way of that?
Yeah.
And it makes me so angry. It just makes me so angry. Anyway, that's it. That's all I had to say about it.
Yeah. No, it's bad in Manitoba. They were apparently the schools in Manitoba were the worst, and the treatment of the students was terrible. Yeah, they weren't
Yeah.
allowed until the 1960s. They weren't even allowed to go home on holidays. They had to stay in the school, but in the 1960s, they were finally allowed to go home for various holidays.
I don't
So
understand why they were in the schools in the like. What was the point of them not being at home?
it was because they wanted to make sure that the students became European. They didn't want them to have connection to their history, to their religion, to their language, to their way of life. I mean, if you look at it was Sir John A. Macdonald, if you read his quote, him basically calling them savages, and they needed to, they needed to correct it. And the schools was their great idea of doing that. And then taking children, and then people who wouldn't bring their children, they would do things like kidnap or arrest their wives and hold them hostage until they would turn their children in so that they could get their wives back. It was just absolute. It was
That's
horrendous.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Shame, shame, shame. There's a great little movie on Netflix called Songbirds. It's about 3 Indigenous Australian sisters who are a singing act that end up performing for the USO in Australia. And inadvertently, like one of them was kidnapped as a child because she looked white compared to her brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
And so she's the estranged one that at a certain age, she just was gone. They didn't know, the kids didn't really understand. But it's more of a movie about these girls wanting to start a career in singing. So it touches on a lot of the prejudice because I'm not sure what year this takes place. It's not as vintage, but there's so USO. So I guess the 40s. I think it was the 60s. It wasn't as late as the 40s.
Yeah, it would be for Vietnam, maybe.
Yeah. Did you see the movie?
I think that I'm remembering the movie you're talking about. I think it was because it was a group that was kind of based on the girl groups
of the 60s. Yeah.
So they were modeled after that. Can I just say another great movie? Like if you happen to be in Canada and you have Crave, there's this movie called Beans, and it's about a little girl who's 10 years old, a young Indigenous girl and her mom, and their community ends up being the community that the Oka crisis was involved in, the Kanasatake, when the dispute over Indigenous lands versus building a golf course. So I highly recommend that movie called Beans if you haven't seen it.
All right.
Oh, and David is with us.
David's trouble.
Woo-hoo.
He'll sell you someone's kidney. I'm still trying to get my face started here.
Yeah. No, we did at work yesterday. We had because my company is half Indigenous, so we were having we're training as a company because we have so many projects that are dealing with different nations. So just to learn how to, we started with learning the history of the residential school and the missing women. Who I read the report that came out a couple of years ago, which is absolutely harrowing. It's like true. It's true. It's truly our shame.
There's a great series on Prime called 3 Oaks that Molina, Harold Molina, is that his name?
Oh, Alfred Molina.
Alfred Molina.
Oh, I love him.
So he plays a French Canadian detective who goes to rural Quebec where there's missing women, and one of them is they call her Blue Jay. And he keeps seeing blue jays while he's investigating something completely different. He's there investigating something completely unrelated to these missing women, but because it's a heavily Indigenous neighborhood or a community, that's all they focus on. This is our women, our sisters are gone.
Yeah.
And so he really gets like a flash education on the Indigenous situation, these missing women, and the red dress movement. Like it all gets addressed in this series, and I think it's 9 or 12 episodes, and I do believe that there's another season of it called something different because it's a whole different murder or story that. But while he's investigating this other thing, he's going to these schools and these digging in the basement of these schools. Oh, it's a heartbreak, but very well done. I was very impressed. And Alfred Molina, because he's British, he does such a great North American accent. Like I thought, oh yeah, okay, I believe he's from maybe not rural Quebec, but yeah.
So I'm just getting a bit caught up in the chat. Sorry, everyone, I got a little bit behind, but Mouton Noir says, referring back to that Netflix show you're talking about, that yeah, the girls are like the Australian Supremes.
That's right. Yeah, it was a cute little movie. They were adorable women too. There was one girl that was a bit of the sex pot, and it was very funny.
Denise Gjernoe is here.
Denise Gjernoe! Hey. Denise Gjernoe has been selling wigs on Instagram. If you want a Denise Gjernoe wig, they don't last long, and she's constantly, she's spent a season doing drag queen's hair, and then she said, I need to be creative. She went out and bought a bunch of wigs on her own, and she's just been designing whatever the wig tells her. The wig tells her that it wants to do this, that's what she does, and then she puts it up for sale. They've all sold so quickly. And then for those of you who know, I have a project going on with Darcy Tucker. I'm not saying more. I say no more than that. Denise Gjernoe is heavily involved, and I couldn't be more excited. So.
I just popped up Darcy's comment that says, Chloe, that's wonderful. What's going
Yeah,
on?
I haven't seen too much changing, Darcy, with what's going on in Hawaii. I think we're just hearing more and more about the cops, how they stopped people from actually leaving Lahaina, and that's why they think a lot of people died. They wouldn't even let them leave the city. So there's a lot going on.
What's happening in Hawaii?
Well, Lahaina burnt down, right?
Yeah,
with the recently.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So there's about they're thinking there's 2,000 children that are missing, and nobody is saying where they are. So there's kind of, some people call it conspiracy, but there is some video and stuff that is concerning. That police weren't letting people out. Now they're not letting a lot of people in. I was going to watch it yesterday, but they're trying to say that somehow Oprah is involved with the fire. So people are thinking they're trying to do a land grab. Like, there's just all this different conspiracy. But my concern is, where's the children? You know, where they showed the video of just before the fire, all the buses in the school lot. And then after the fire, there's only like 2 buses left. Where are the buses? There's a whole bunch of children not accounted for. They've accounted for some because they've enrolled in different schools. So there's a whole thing going on and trying to figure out what's actually happening. So
wow.
It's very concerning.
David, just to make a bit of a lateral, David is recommending 5 Little Indians, amazing book about residential school crisis. It's fiction, so it's a historical fiction, but it's all the things that actually happened. Yeah, you know what? I would really love it if people did have references or things to read that we can like share or pop in the chat, little things that we can do to, learn
educate,
more, take action. That would be lovely and amazing. Oh, Jessica, thank you so much for your tipper do for Brent Day. That's so sweet.
It's expensive, Brent.
Yeah, that's no joke.
I tell you, I appreciate every tipper do, every good wish, every subscription, because it's not why I started doing YouTube. I started doing YouTube because I don't have a cat or a man. And it was something to fill my days. And, really, what makes me the most pleased about what I've done on YouTube is when my friends go, oh my God, you have the best fans, because I get sent the craziest things. For instance, Chloe sent me this fantastic watercolor made by the fabulous Miss Mary Cherry.
Oh, that's so
Isn't that gorgeous? It's gorgeous. I just have to find I want to start an art wall behind me, but I think the glass reflect on the lights. But I love that. So thank you, Chloe.
Yeah. Glad you love it. And I made sure
I love it.
necklace.
And you can't see, but it's metallic. The hair's metallic.
Yeah, I bought her because she's such a talented artist. So for her birthday, I bought her paper and additional paints, and then I bought her some paints that had metallic in that she'd never used before. So yeah, so she had a chance to play with it.
I was really impressed.
Yeah.
And
so
also
really
Chloe sent me this lipstick from Propa and Beauty. That's the box. The shade is called Limitless. This is one of your favorite lippies?
It is. It's one of my favorite brands of all time. And
Chloe just put up a video about her favorite lippies. If you need to see that, you should check the link to her YouTube channel, and it's the most recent one. But look at this. It's like a cinnamon coffee.
Yeah, their formula is just amazing.
I'm excited to use this. I'm going to drag it up with, I think, a bit of highlight in the middle, but short of that, I'm excited.
Yeah. No, I love them a lot.
Yep.
So David is also suggesting, in his opinion, 21 things you may not know about the Indian Act. That's Canada. Another one, I'm just going to throw up the one we mentioned before, which is Beans, and that's currently playing on Crave in Canada. It's a Canadian film, Canadian woman, Indigenous.
I saw that. I know I've seen the poster for it. Yeah.
If you go on Prime, they'll have a section which is all the different Indigenous movies and documentaries, and usually if you go to the rental section, if you rent any of them, usually money will go to various charities.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. Crave has a similar category where you can see different Indigenous filmmakers there too. There's quite a few.
Yeah.
I know that there's also, I think Rhymes for Young Ghouls is on there. That's another one. And yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I used to watch, was it APN, the Aboriginal programming
network? Oh, yeah, ABTN?
Yeah, I still watch it every once in a while.
Yeah, they used to have
you know what they had on there for a while? They had Aboriginal stand-up comedians. And it was great to watch. Absolutely fantastic.
So the black in here that's called Not Today Batman is excellent. So,
are you already putting it on your face?
Yeah. Well, because
in
case there's fallout, because usually if I try a new brand, the time I put my base on first, there's fallout everywhere. So I don't want to so, and I kind of wanted to build this slowly. So
I am just about ready to start putting this on my face. I have to set my powder, or set my face.
Yeah.
I ran out of this is my favorite powder. I tried. Okay, so this is Airspun, Coty Airspun. It's about $22 on average.
Yeah.
You get it cheaper, you get it more expensive, but it's fabulous. It lasts forever. I love it. This is Julie Star. It looks very similar if you look at the artwork on the packaging, except this is what they look like next to each other. This was $12. Now, it's about half the size. Yeah. This has, it's hard to find out what's in this. Oh, I have to look at something else that was this size, because there's no measurement on this at all. They don't want you to know how much is in here, which I think is illegal.
It's probably something like 0.005 or something.
Because this
ounces.
One is. Oh, isn't that funny? This doesn't have it either. Oh no, here it is. It's down here. 2.3 ounces. So I'm going to say this is 1 ounce.
Yeah.
Maybe 1.1. But so half the price of this. This is horrible. Don't buy this. It's not worth it. It's crap. So what I had was the Airspun, but in a rosy beige, which I like because I find a lot of the time when I'm looking at my makeup, when I'm editing, I feel like my makeup's a little stark, like a little harsh. And I know I have white here. This is to catch fallout, but it's also to brighten up under my eyes. But the rest of this, you see how this is not white? But because it's got a rosy quality to it, what I'm hoping is that it warms up this foundation a little and takes that kind of sallowness out of it. I don't know what's wrong with, I feel like almost every foundation that I use is yellow on me. So I don't mind. I'm a drag queen. I'm going to be whatever color the makeup is. I don't care. But
Fenty Beauty
I don't
all
have
the
to
way.
match my skin tone ever.
Oh, okay, so I know we talked about this earlier, but let's just do a little reminder. What are the palettes again that you are both using?
Yes, we are using the Milan Rowe Poison Ivy palette. Milan Rowe is officially defunct now. You go to their website and they're closed. But
Yeah,
this,
their
about a
Instagram
month
is moved too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're done. They're but this was a $60 palette that they had last year, and it was $12 about a month ago. So Chloe bought one for both of us.
Yeah, I
So
think the final orders went out on Friday, I want to say. But
oh yeah, as recent as that.
They stopped doing orders, I think the 15th or the 20th. And then the last orders, I think, were supposed to go out by the end of the last week, I believe. Or it could have been the week before, but I think it's this week. I think it was yesterday was the last day that they were going to ship out orders. And then I went today because, you know, some brands will close down, but because, you know, I don't know if I didn't really look to see if Angela did makeup. So I thought, well, maybe Angela was keeping something open for makeup, but it looks like they've moved. So maybe she's doing a personal makeup or something instead. I don't know. I didn't have time this morning to kind of dig any further, but.
Well, I am just going to prime my eyes and get to it.
What are you priming with?
I am priming with my P. Louise Rumors 0.0. It's the only one I use. I don't know why I keep talking to the light. Maybe I think Jesus is in it. I don't know why. But I always use this. I also will use Juvia's Place. This is a more
I like that one.
Skin tone. It's the lightest one they have, but the P. Louise one is white, and I prefer white for drag makeup. I just think it's the better one to use.
Well, especially if you're doing bright makeup. So yeah, the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas is really good too, and you just need such a little bit. It goes so far. It's crazy.
I'm putting this on with a Artitude. Oh no, this is a.
Oh, let me put a little note here. Darcy.
Yes, hi, Darcy.
Darcy's having their 50th birthday this month.
Oh my God, happy! You look good for 50, Darcy. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Compared to me, she's still a baby.
Baby, a child.
Baby.
Well, happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Yes, happy birthday, Darcy.
And of course, if you want to get anything from St. James Angel Sinners, and why wouldn't you? It's a fantastic company. Got great formula.
So good.
You can use Wilma 20, but there's a bunch of people that are affiliated with St. Angel Sinners, or what I call the Sassies. And you know, really use whoever you want. You're not going to go wrong saving yourself some money, but I certainly am not going to make you use mine. Use whoever you want.
Yes,
Or
Steph
don't.
has.
Maybe you have lots of money and you just want to spread it around. Then be that person.
Well, Steph, Steph has got a question.
Oh God, Steph. Oh God.
Wilma, would you like to do a live with me sometime?
I would hate that so much that I would start throwing up now if I weren't on camera. Of course.
So she would love to do a Wilma show Steph how to drag like a pro.
Oh, like a street walking pro or a drag queen pro? I need clarity, Steph. I just can't show up and make magic. They're brushes, not magic wands.
Oh, Sylvia says that she can't wait to try her Gerard Cosmetics white eye base she got yesterday. Have either of you tried the Gerard
I don't know.
Cosmetics?
I'm not familiar with Gerard Cosmetics. I've heard of them. I've never bought anything from them.
They're Instagram famous, so they kind of started doing things like teeth whitening and different products.
Oh, is that right?
And then they started, I believe they started with lipstick maybe first, and they were working with Jaclyn Hill, so you know how all that turns out.
Oh.
And and then they started doing, they have one of the best setting sprays, and then they always have beautiful smelling ones. So when I can, I will pick up their setting spray. But I've been wanting this base for forever. So Sylvia got some as well. And it was in the last ice cream beauty box. So if you're going to do any beauty box, the ice cream beauty box
seems really good.
Yeah, so I sent a message out to them because their box is usually better than the bag, but their bag is going to have, they're doing October Cancer Awareness, and it's going to have the Gourmand Girls, the Wears Pink palette, and I want that. So I'm like, if I order because we can as members order the gift bag, which is non-renewable, and I'm like, if I order that October 2nd, will I get that palette? So I'm hoping that I can get that too, because the October box is Halloween themed. So I'm very curious to see, because last year's looked really good. So I'm pretty excited.
I have to say, I'm impressed with how a lot of these companies, how accessible they are. Like I have some news for you people. I'm going to announce it officially, but you're getting a teaser right now. I'm doing my first giveaway. I've been doing YouTube for, what year is Drag Race in? 15 years. And I have never done a giveaway. And I have to tell you, I was talking to Viva Vivacious, because she does a lot of them. Chloe just won something from her. Erica's got a giveaway coming up. I'm going to be talking to you, Erica, about how to do it. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how people do it. But I will tell you right now, you know, Wilma is a whore for a mystery box. Whore for a mystery box. I can't handle it. When there is a mystery box, a sale, I buy it. I don't even care. I bought one from Walmart once, and it was so unimpressive and so disappointing, but it was a mystery. It was a good mystery. They just said it was a mystery. So I'm just holding this up for effect. This is the box.
Ooh,
this is a postal box. This is a Canadian post office box. Chloe sent stuff to me in this. We have these here in Canada. It's a flat rate box. If you can cram it in here, they will ship it for the price you paid. This is the size of box that would fit my giveaway.
Nice.
I have two boxes. They're a mystery. The other box is a little smaller. I will tell you why the other box is a little smaller. The big item in both of them, a little smaller in the other box. Is it less expensive? I don't know. It's a mystery.
You're such a tease. Such a tease, Wilma. Such a tease.
A big item, you say? Like a palette? Maybe. It's a mystery! I will tell you one thing that is not a mystery. The value of these boxes, over $500 each. I know. This is why I can't pay rent next month. It's not. What I've been doing for this year has been, anytime I got something from a company I love, I only buy stuff from companies I love. If it was something I didn't want to use or couldn't use, I saved it. So I have some of my favorite companies in here. Could that be Juvia's Place? It might be. It's a mystery. Could it be Artichoke? It might be. It's a mystery. I don't know. Could it be St. James? Well, I don't want to be sassy, but yes, maybe it could be. You have to enter to win. And what I'm going to do is, what I'm really trying to do is break the 8555 zone. I've been in 8,500 and something, between 40 and 50 subscribers all year. I want to get to 10,000. I thought I was going to reach 10,000 last year. No. I thought I was going to reach 10,000 5 years ago. No. I'm still trying. So the reason I'm doing the giveaway is to build new subscribers. But the other reason I'm doing the giveaway is these are products I use. I actually went to one company and bought stuff specifically for this giveaway because I wanted to include them in it. They gave me a deal and threw in a lot of other stuff. False lashes? Yes, maybe. Sponges? Yes, maybe. I don't know. It's a mystery. But I have two of these. So what I'll be doing, I'm going to announce this, and I think we'll do it in October because, there's so little going on in October.
You mean the emptying of my bank account? That's what's happening in October? Yeah.
All you have to do is when I post the video for the giveaway, the mystery box giveaway, you just have to apply. There will be a requirement of subscribing to my YouTube. And you have to stay subscribed, at least for a while. If you unsubscribe right after the giveaway, whether you win or lose, you won't be allowed to do another giveaway. And you know how often I do them. There will be a phrase in the video you will have to find and write down in the message. I'm not asking you to put an emoji. I don't care about that. I'm going to ask you a question, and it will be answered in the video, and you just have to pay attention. It could be at the beginning, it could be at the end. We don't know because why? It's a mystery. This is Candace, how heavy would you say this is?
Oh, okay.
How heavy?
How heavy would I say that is?
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like five.
It's heft.
Yeah,
There's heft.
yeah.
There's heft. This is not limited to North America. I did a little bit of a research and found out how much it would cost me to send this abroad. I think it would only cost about $50, $60. So I think this is going to be fine. I'm going to see. If somebody from Helsinki wins and it's $300, maybe that person didn't win. We don't know. It's a mystery. But no, trust and believe. Whoever gets the first pick gets to choose. Mystery box 1 or 2. I won't tell you what's the difference. Is one better than the other? No, they're different. But there is a lot of similarities. I want to let you know that there are at least one. Just give me a second to think about them. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's at least 4 full-size palettes in both that are the same. And then they both have other things. There are false eyelashes from a company that I like. There are lipsticks and some glosses and some eyeliners. So it really is stuff I've collected from companies I use and like that I had extras of. And I just thought, I'm going to put those together. I'm going to save them for a mystery box. And here they are. So stay tuned in this month. In the next week, I'm actually going to film it today after we do this. But in the next week, I'll be releasing the video. And you can, ahead of time. And as I say, there will be, you don't just apply. You have to like, you have to subscribe. And I think also suggest 2 people in a message or something. I don't know. I don't know. Still in the air. It'll happen.
Is it going to be YouTube only, or are you going to do it? Open it on
I'm
IG?
going to. Like I'm going to advertise the giveaway on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm also most probably going to have people also like me on Instagram, but I want people to go to the YouTube channel to apply.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You have to come to the video. So if you like this mystery box that you can't see what's in it, you have to go to the video and where I talk more about it. I might tease 1 or 2 items. It's a mystery, you don't know. And you'll have to tune in. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing that in October. And I'm really hoping if I break out of the 8,000s into like 9,001 or 2, done, happy, thrilled. But it's just been, I feel like I've been sitting at 8,500. And I certainly am not saying, oh, because I know I am friends with people that I can't believe don't have more subscribers themselves. So I constantly, one of the things I like to do on YouTube is I'm constantly looking for those unique people. I don't want to see the people that are reviewing every new release. There are a couple of people. Carrie Kay is somebody I watch on YouTube from England. She does every new release, but she is so objective. Like she just has a video up right now of the Revolution It collaboration that I didn't even know was happening. And I hate those things myself personally because I just think they're more gimmicky. And also the makeup's usually not as intense. It's daywalkery. And this collaboration Revolution, and they're not as pigmented as I need them to be.
Yeah.
Not a bad company. But the collection looks fun. But she had that video and she didn't buy every single item from the collection. First of all, she spent her own money. No one sent her nothing. And she didn't get everything because everything was available. She collected things. Like, I'll have this. And then she talked about them. And that was her first impression. She'll do another video about it where she's tried it 3 or 4 times to give you an idea again. What's the wearability? How long did it last? Is this good all the time? Do I have to touch it up a lot? Stuff like that. She's very good. Also, like she has like a Coraline and Revolution did a collab. And that was another one. She loves Coraline. She did not buy everything. And I like that. What's that?
I said I like Coraline too. Yeah. I like anything Neil Gaiman does. So there is that.
I love the movie Starlight. Stardust.
Yeah.
The book is fantastic. Do not get me wrong, and it is a different book than the movie. But Michelle Pfeiffer, that was almost Michelle Pfeiffer's return to the screen. She hadn't been in a movie in a long time, and that was the one. And then she stands in front of the mirror after she's delicious with gold in her hair, and she's looking at her bum. Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer. That's why Bruno Mars sings about you.
That's so kind of you, Darcy.
But
oh, look, Violaine is here.
Who?
Violin.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Oh, another birthday.
Fournier? Is that Violin Fournier?
And then
Bonjour, Violin.
it's David's birthday in November.
29
so
again so
I
soon?
know.
How fast it comes around, David.
I think you
And then I used
Yep.
this one and that one so far.
My brother's birthday is September 11th.
Oh, wow.
That's a
Yeah.
tough day to
So,
have
The
birthday.
day that September 11th happened was a Wednesday. And in Toronto at that time, we had a comedy night, an open mic night, which is basically a night that's in a bar where comics go up and do 5 minutes. Everyone gets paid. Maybe they get a free beer. The regulars hate them because they had to turn the TV off for it, that kind of thing. And Spirits had their open mic night that night. And my brother had already planned to come to Spirits with his friends for the show. So they discussed it and said, well, yeah, let's still go. Like, what the hell, As horrible as that news was, it's easy to distance yourself from it being Canadian. And so my brother came that night. It was the best show we ever had. Nobody talked about it. Do you know what I mean? Like nobody brought it up. It wasn't made fun of. No one. We all just talked about other things. And we had a couple of comics there that were. Boyd Banks was there, Candace.
Oh my gosh.
And the minute he walked on stage, we were all like Dorothy and Blanche before Sophia talks to anybody in the house. It's like, oh God, what's he going to say?
Yeah.
He said nothing. However, the next week,
Oh my gosh.
Boyd Banks, Jesus, so funny. But yeah, so it was actually a great thing that my brother celebrated his birthday that day because it really was a great distraction after such a long, hard day.
Yeah, no, that was a lot that day. So I think at the end of the evening, you'd want a bit of escape from that being bombarded from all that horror all day long.
No kidding.
Yeah, I had to work that day too. And all the American, because I worked retail at the time, so like the Disney store and stuff like that all closed down. But if you didn't have an American head office, you had to go to work. But the mall was pretty dead.
Well, I had to go up to Parry Sound that day. My mom lived in Parry Sound at the time, and she still had all her doctors in Toronto. And so once a month, I would take a bus up to Parry Sound, get in her van, and drive her to Toronto for her doctor's appointments. And she'd be here for like a day or two, and then we'd go back. So that day, I had to go and get her. And I'll tell you, the mass exodus out of Toronto, because of what was going on, was surprising to me, because the last thing I thought was, oh, they're going to bomb another city or do this to it. Like, that's the last thing I thought, because America is so disliked and such an omnipotent presence in the world that I just thought, yeah, this is somebody attacking America specifically. And when I saw all of these downtown Toronto office people hidden in the high roads, like it took me almost an hour and a half in a bus to go up University to Bloor.
Wow.
From Dundas. Like, that's not even all
that isn't that far, yeah.
And yeah, it just staggered me. Like, the last thing I thought was that anyone in Toronto was not safe.
Oh, I worked in finance at the time.
Oh, you were in one of those towers.
So I will say, you know what? It just so happened that I had that week off of work. And I took the week off work because it was also the same week as the Toronto International Film Festival.
Yes, it was.
So I was in a movie at the film festival.
And all the Americans' phones were going off.
And then it was just everything changed. And then I remember also, because part of what we were wondering was it going after financial centers?
Of course.
Right. So that was one of the things that we thought about. And then also the thing is, when airports shut down, it was film festival. A lot of Americans then trapped here.
Right.
Couldn't get
That was great.
Yeah.
So, do people mind if I take a bit of a pivot with a question that I'll kind of
nope, that's why you're here, my darling.
Okay.
You're driving the bus, my darling.
So Martha Anastasia wants
Yes.
to know, hey, what's Wilma and Chloe
My absolute favorite one, favorite one is Fumi Desalu Vold's blush, Queen of Hearts blush palette. When I started buying from Juvia's Place, this had already sold out. And you couldn't get it for love nor money. And I had just happened to start watching Fumi Desalu Vold's YouTube channel. She's fabulous. I love her.
I love her.
So this was sold out, and I was like, oh, but I love all those blushes. I got a Valentine's Day mystery box almost a year after that. That was in it. And I couldn't have been more happy. If Juvia's Place at the time had said, write a review, it would have been gold, 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 all gold. My second favorite Juvia's Place palette is this little one, Fumi Desalu Vold again. It's her disco party. This is a gorgeous palette. It has the darkest navy, or not navy, it's a royal blue. Like it's got a lot of light in it, but it's dark. And then this gray shimmer, it's a silver shimmer in a black powder. So you can put that right over. And then this is a blue shimmer, not a glitter. And then this is almost a teal pearl. I don't get why that's there. It's the one of them I don't get, but I don't hate it. But these three colors are gold for me. And then the last favorite Juvia's Place palette for me, it's a toss-up between these two, the Warrior 3 and the Zulu palette. This one is gorgeous. That yellow will take you there and back.
That's their best palette.
I love that.
Zulu, yeah, I love that palette
for drag. It's such a great complexion palette. The corals on there are great blushes. And then this one is the Warrior 3. All the Warrior palettes are great. The Warrior 2 is a matte tone palette. Like it's almost for complexion, like contouring that. It's stunning. And this is the Zulu palette.
I love that one.
The purple in this one is more of a red purple than the other one. This gray is a satin. It's stunning. And this green, this is a Kelly green, like it's as green can be. And then you get this really beautiful terracotta in there as a blender. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, those are my favorite. I'm going to show you the other Juvia's Place. This is the Warrior 2.
While you're looking, Lady Jenny says hello.
Hey, Lady Jenny.
Lady.
Okay, I'm going to show you this. This is my Warrior 2 palette. I'm holding it like this because the black in it has broken. And the black in this is the most, you hear me say, like Darcy's got a great black, or this company's got a great, they all lie. This is the best black, this one here in Juice. I'm going to have to repress this, but this black is always everywhere. It's on the top, usually on the cover. But this is a great complexion palette for contouring and shading of the Warrior 3. And then they have a Warrior 2, which is all highlight shimmers, like so like shimmery bronzers and shimmery highlights, and it's really broad skin tones. Like there's skin tones in it. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't have a trouble finding something in there. And then the one palette that I wish I used more is this Tribe palette.
Yes,
I love this palette. And
it's a beautiful palette.
There's nothing wrong with this. A gorgeously curated color story. This color here, it makes a great highlight. You know, it's gorgeous. And this only has satins or shimmers here, and the rest are all mattes. And that's for me. I have to have a matte heavy palette to like it. It can't be all shimmers. I'm not saying all shimmer palettes are bad. I just don't get as much bang out of that bucket as when there's more neutrals or mattes for me. Also, I don't need a lot of neutrals, but I have learned to use neutrals for my eyebrows. So if there's a couple of browns in a palette, I'm happy. Like, oh, good, I can do my whole face with one palette. I don't have to go look for something else.
Yeah, Steph is saying that the Tribe palette is their favorite.
That one's good too.
Oh, yeah.
I think all their palettes have merit, to be absolutely honest.
Really
like
do.
there's something about each one that's good. You just find that you use one more. Like I just got rid of it because I used most of it up and it was old, but that Deuce palette.
Oh, I never bought that. I always wanted one.
Yeah, I panned holes in quite a few of those colors. Like that's probably my most used of theirs. Yeah. Because it was good mixed with other palettes as well because of its color story. Yeah, like the only ones I
one of those
decluttered
palettes I
were
just always
old.
seem to miss. It was always out of stock or just
Mhm.
missing it. But again, as pretty as that palette is, and so many of Juvia's Place's palettes are gorgeous, and because it's a Black-owned for POC skin company, the pigmentation and blendability is ridiculous. So I love it for drag. Like Juvia's Place, even their most subtle neutral palettes are great for drag because they're going to stand out. But there's still that whole sorry, I just keep losing my train of thought.
Yeah, no worries. If anyone has any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat as well.
But yeah, I love Juvia's Place. I wish I used Juvia's Place more. I was actually just looking at the Culture palette and the Wahala palette just the other day.
The Wahala palette.
Because I'm trying to use. Actually, the Wahala 2 is the one I have. I got rid of the Wahala 1. I just found the Wahala 2 was better.
It is, yeah. It is way better. Yeah, it's good.
But at the time, they didn't have the Wahala 2, so the Wahala was great. It was their biggest palette for a long time, but now the Culture one is huge.
Yeah. Well,
Heather is agreeing with you. She's saying the Culture palette by Juvia's, dang,
Yeah.
man, dang.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got all the business.
Well, our deep dive on Juvia's Place is still on my channel too.
Oh, is that right? Oh, great.
That we did together. Yeah, where we did that.
Yeah, we did a whole, we compared. I was surprised at how much Juvia's Place you had. I always think that I'm just going to have the most. I don't know why, because I'm always surprised at how few people have heard of it.
Any plans for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, if anyone has any plans.
Yes, one of my besties is having a whack of us over the day before Thanksgiving, so that way we can all have Thanksgiving Day to actually relax or do stuff with our family.
That's nice.
So yeah,
That's a
so
good way
we're
to
all
do
going to
it.
get together and have like a potlucky type Thanksgiving.
I'll probably be going to Ted and Jeff's. I haven't been in 3 years, so Wilhelmina and her lovely boyfriend.
Oh, that would be good.
So that'll be exciting.
How's she doing?
Wilhelmina's great. She was here yesterday. We recorded our review of Drag Race UK, first episode.
Oh, excellent. When is that going up?
And so I'll be working on that later.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what I think about this palette.
So what are you thinking of the palettes?
I'm just having trouble like building.
I quite like it. Enjoy it. I think they just didn't strike while the iron was hot. I think they took too long between releases.
Yeah.
For them to really get going, because I think even from that first palette that I can't remember either, I had to look back and be like, oh yeah, there was a first palette.
I recognized it, but I couldn't tell you what it's.
Yeah, and I did see a few reviews of this when this came out. I was really excited to get this, but like I said, I think it was the price, shipping, press, glitter, right? So the shipping was more worth it when it was for 2 of us and $12 a palette.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, when this came out, there weren't a lot of green palettes, so this was a great palette. But there's so many more green palettes that are greener than this.
Yeah.
Like this strikes me as being a little, it's not as poisony or as ivy as I would have made a palette like this.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when I think of a green palette or something that's poison ivy related,
yeah,
I think of the Money Shot from P. Louise. And every time I've used the Money Shot from P. Louise, somebody always says, "Oh, poison ivy." I look like poison ivy, and it's like,
oh, it's October 9th, Martha. So it's
so when is Canadian Thanksgiving? It's the second Monday
Saturday
in October every year. So it's the second Monday in October every year.
Yeah, so it'll be the 9th this year.
I mean, I think I'm going to Ted. They haven't asked me.
Just show up. Okay.
They just lost their dog, and Jeffrey started looking at dogs lately. So they might have a new dog for Thanksgiving. They're tough eating. Tough eating, those dogs.
Heather was saying that there's I haven't seen this palette yet, the Afro Galactic palette from Juvia's. Is anyone?
Yeah, I saw it.
It just came out. It just came out. They just released it.
Yeah, I sent it to Wilma just before the live.
Yeah, it looks
fun.
it looks
Makeup
good.
for
Like
my
I'm not when I didn't give it a hard look, but it didn't disappoint me.
No, the cover, like I swear their art gets better too. So the cover art is absolutely stunning on it.
This art, I don't know if they're using the same artist or if the artist has changed their style a bit, but it's much more modern. See, again, I'm talking into the light. The art on it seems much more futuristic as opposed to traditional indigenous garb. I feel with Juvia's place, there's definitely a cultural influence with their artwork, which I love.
Yeah. But I think it's nice every once in a while to change it up just a teeny bit.
Like, yeah. Like I was really impressed to see that.
Yeah, stay within the vibe, but yeah. So.
Because I might have walked right by that in a store and not thought it was Juvia's place.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know it just seems like I don't know if there's they're losing the hype that they used to have, because same thing, I don't see as much on YouTube popping up with their products.
Well, they had a terrible time. First of all, when I first started shopping from them, they had a terrible customer service reputation. But I never experienced it, and
me neither. Yeah, me neither. That's why I was shocked. Yeah.
And then there was that whole period where they got there was some issue with who they were sending PR out to. Yeah,
Jackie Ina, I think it was, got really mad that they were sending it to place like Nikki tutorials. Yeah. But
it's a Black-owned company, and none of their influencers were Black, so I get that. I would be pissed off.
Well, they did send to some, but I think, not as many as they should. But even if because I was going to say, even if I'm looking for makeup for me, I love watching especially if it's a brand I don't know, I will watch how it works on every skin tone just to see how it works. I love seeing reviews from super pale to the darkest dark and see how this stuff works and what everybody's opinion, different skin textures, or if they've got oily skin or dry skin. When I'm trying to research a brand, that's what I want to do. I want to see across the board, even though it's the dark stuff for darker skin may not work for my pasty skin, but I still want to see what everybody thinks of it before a lot of times I will deep dive into a brand and start buying their products.
I just was going to say, Candace.
Yes.
I am going to go to the washroom. Will you turn my camera off so I don't, in case I fall in front of everybody?
Oh, so it's just me. Hey, everybody. There you go. So I'm liking this palette. I think it's doing really well. So far I've used the black, that's Not Today Batman. I used one that's got a strange name, Caquista, or Quaquistal. So I don't know if that's a type of plant. So that's that one there. I use the shade called New Leaf, that one there. And then I used a little bit of calamine, like calamine lotion so far. But I'm liking it. I'm not having any problems building or anything. Just the lighter shade, maybe a little bit, but the darker shades are doing good. Oh, thank you, Sylvia. I'm trying here. I'm not as talented as Wilma is at getting, beautiful big shapes, but I like what I like, I guess. So, yes. So have you had a chance to play with it, with anything in that ice cream box, Sylvia, or you're going to do a video? Because you've been quite quiet on YouTube. Miss seeing your face. Sure, we didn't have some like theme music going on in the background. But the last time my phone went off in error and Wilma got a copyright strike because I guess whatever ringtone from the person that called me got a copyright strike, which is strange for like literally 2 seconds. So I'm just going to go and build up some of these colors that I was using to see if I can get a bit more gradation showing. Do I have a favorite black eyeshadow? I've been really liking Saint Angel Sinners Black Formula and Gourmand Girls Black Formula. Those are my two favorite blacks that I get. Like they go on nice and black, but not too much where I have to do damage control. If I have issues, I can nicely build it up and place it really nice. There's not a lot of fallout. I really like the one from Melt Cosmetics, but that one is like Fallout City. You will end up literally with a rain of black on your face. But if you want something that's super intense, that one is good too. But that one rains a lot. So I think the Saint Angel Sinners and the Gourmand Girls have my two favorites. Though this one's been really nice. It's just nobody can get it anymore. So. But it's been doing good, I think. I think it looks pretty dark, hey? There we go. I guess we can play with some shimmers, or as Sylvia and some of her friends like to call them, shims. I don't usually like short forming things except for lippies. For some reason, I always call lippies. So every time I say, oh, I don't like short forming thing, my friend Mike is always like, then you need to stop saying lippies. And it's like, that's just the one. When people say sunnies, makes me grit my teeth. My one friend always does that. I need a new pair of sunnies. And it's like, stop. Thank you, Martha. You know how much I love green. I don't think there's a green palette that I haven't bumped into that I've not liked. Oh, hey, we're back. We missed you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Say something, Chloe. Say something.
Candace?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear Candace, Chloe?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay. I just want to make sure. When we turned off the camera, we also turned off the mic, and she was talking to you. So.
Oh, no, I didn't hear her when you were all gone. I didn't hear
anything.
anything.
The black eyeshadow question in the chat, because I was like, Chloe can't hear me. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah.
So what I've done with my eye, I was hearing you saying what you used. I used, I feel like the tones on this palette, again, I think that if somebody were using this just to go to work, and so this is an excellent palette. The glitter's there for fun stuff. The shimmers and satins I'm looking forward to using. But I'm finding right now the tones are a little too similar. So I find them getting muddy. Like I want to reach for a heavier black. This Not Today Batman isn't black. It's gray. Like,
oh, really? I find it
that's not black to me. Like I'll show you black.
No, I mean, like I said, the Saint Angel Sinners and Gourmand Girls definitely have some of the best blacks, but I thought this one went on really nicely on my eyes. So
yeah, it's all right, but it's not. Yeah. It's not as saturated a black. Like I'll just do this black.
I like my blacks to be a little bit more buildable. Like I was saying, I like the difference. Yeah, but
I like that black payoff.
Yeah,
Whereas for me, you're never going to build this darker than that because it won't go darker than that. That's its pigment. But this will go on lighter if you go light first.
Yeah, but I find like when yeah, for sure. And we have completely different makeup styles. But like I was saying, when I use Melt, which is that black, like that other one, but then I find like it's all over the place and it's like Damage Control City. So I find when they're too dark on the outset, that's when I usually have problems. So I like them to be lighter but buildable and not have as much falling around. So I find with both Gourmand Girls and Saint Angel Sinners, they build up to a beautiful black, but I don't feel that it's so pigmented that I can't do anything with it or that it ends up all over my face. So that's But like for you, what you need for makeup and generally what I need for makeup, I think are totally different indeed.
So instead of cutting my crease, because I use Not Today Batman and I use the Ivy, which is a bluey green dark for out here. I used mostly New Leaf and
I know it's a strange name, isn't it?
Carquisol.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to figure out what
Is
it
that a
was
plant?
too. That's what I'm guessing. It's got to be
The
a type of
carbuncle?
ivy or.
And then the calamine, the very light green I've used around everything. So instead of cutting my crease with primer, I'm just putting glitter glue on my lid.
Yeah. No, the calamine is the only one that I've had a little bit of issue in. I find that one.
Oh yeah, what happened with it?
It's just that it's so light that it's just hard. I don't know. It doesn't seem to blend in as well for me. It's not horrible, but that's the one color that I've had I would say a teeny bit of issue with. But.
I was surprised when I put it on, it really blocked out the black and the blue, the darker. Like I have to go back in with those. But it's a good light color.
Yeah. All right.
Denise said to leave the chat, so she gave us a cheers.
Oh, bye, Denise. She's lovely. I love Denise.
Yeah, she seems
She's
very.
been having so much fun doing her own wigs lately. And then for my birthday, she was backstage at a drag show in Denmark. That's where she's from. And all the queens all wished me a happy birthday.
Aww.
Yeah, they don't even know who the hell I am. I thought that was so adorable, and they're all so beautiful in Denmark. Like that part of the world, the queens are stunning.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm using the same brush that's now tacky with the glue. I like to use it because I just literally place this in.
It's a soft.
It's
soft.
Tapping it on. I don't,
yeah, that's the one I just grabbed too.
Yeah, I'm not reinventing the wheel here.
Yeah, I'm trying it with spray first to see what it does.
Yeah. I just went right for this because it's glitter. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Test it out. Like I said, I haven't been too much of a fan from glitter, but when we've been playing the one from Sea Color, their glitter is really good. I really enjoy it.
Great glitter formula.
Yeah, so I kind of got into it. So it's sad that we caused the demise of another brand.
Yeah, we're cursed.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, they were going out of business, and then we started buying. Maybe we're the linchpin. If we had shopped when they were open, they wouldn't have closed.
Well, I wanted to. They were on. That's why I ended up breaking the no buy to pick up some of those palettes, because I was like, in the new year, I'm going to start buying some of it because I like the little bits that I got from you. So I thought, okay, I really want to try them. And then when that came up that they were closing, and it was like, okay, I guess it's now or never. So
yeah.
And then I could try out all their different glitters. And they were the first brand where it's like, okay, I can deal with these glitters.
So I'm just curious, do either of you and everyone in the chat still let us know, what are your favorite glitters? What's your number one glitter? What do you love, hate, pros, cons about glitter?
I personally don't like to use glitter because it's fussy and it gets everywhere. But I do enjoy pigments, and Be Perfect has a range of pigments. We have fans going in here. This might not work, but like this is a white shimmer pigment, but it's white glitter. It literally is like white glitter when it goes on. Look at that. Yeah,
when they're super fine, they're really good.
Yeah.
And if they're like this, where they're made like an eyeshadow, my most hated is when it's in that gel, usually in the
hate
gel.
the gel.
Oh,
I want to like the gel so much because it's a good idea, but it's gross.
Yeah.
Though
the ones that you sent me from Beauty Moon, I was expecting
Beauty Moon.
I was expecting them not to be good because they did feel like they had a little bit of gel in there. But those are the only ones so far that I actually really liked. And once it dried down, because that was my worry. It was like, oh, these feel really weird and crunchy. But once it dried down, it was really good. So I actually ended up liking them. So I think they're the only one in formula. Yeah, they're the only ones I think in gel that I like. But I do like who is it now? I'd have to go look at them. They do a fine chameleon one. Berry M. Berry M has, funnily enough, a really nice, very fine kind of glittery dust. That's really nice.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and they're cheap too. Like if you go through, not Love Your Look, that's a clothing brand. but that one something love something, they're kind of like cult beauty bay, where they sell all different stuff. You can get Berry M through them, and you used to be able to get it on Beauty Bay. I don't know if they still do Berry M, but Berry M, or you can go to the Berry M website. I think I've ordered from them as well. But they're super cheap. They're like a drugstore brand, and from the UK, and they're really good.
Nice.
So I quite like their fine glitter. Oh, I haven't tried them, Steph, with Love Cosmetics. There's a local Vancouver brand that I keep wanting to try called Vianney, and theirs look really good. And they say that you don't need a glitter glue.
Is she talking to us?
No, yes. Basically, it was about the question about what glitters do people like, and Steph had said, I love the pressed glitters from With Love Cosmetics, so I think Chloe was just responding.
Oh, I understand. I wasn't sure what I thought. She went to say, what's she talking about? I missed something. Oh God!
No. And Heather also is saying,
look fantastic. That's it. Yes, Heather. Yeah. Thank you. I know it had. Heather. Yes, that was it. I thought love something. I don't know why. I always mix it up, and then I have to Google it, and then that's where I get my Revolution skincare from. Is from Look Fantastic.
Steph, you just did a video about that company, didn't you? You had a video where you had all of those. You're always what video? Every day, every 5 minutes, there's a video, and I'm amazed at the stuff you find. Like, I think when they have the term a makeup fan, Steph's picture's right there.
I think this is in reference to With Love, but Steph is saying they're a UK indie brand. Their pressed glitters require no adhesive and are amazing. I think that's in reference to her earlier comment about With Love.
Yeah, so Vianney Cosmetics, theirs are supposed to be the same as well, that you don't need a glitter glue, that they just go on smooth. So I've been wanting to. Yeah, they're from Vancouver, but it's like buying from Cleona. Their shipping is ridiculous. It's like, how could your shipping be so expensive when you're in my neighborhood? Like, how is that possible?
I can literally walk across a parking lot to get to Cleona's warehouse.
Yeah, and
they won't let you pick up.
Yeah, and their shipping is disgusting. So like even to get 2 or 3 little single shadows, they want to charge you $25. And it's like, no way. Come on now. Get chit chats and get going. Like, super. But so yeah, so I don't buy from them anymore, like Cleona anymore, because that's just too expensive. I can't condone that a Canadian brand charges that much shipping, and I can get crap from Europe for cheaper.
They're only charging that much because the American and European companies charge that much. But it's but they're coming across an ocean, you idiot.
Yeah.
There should be a break on a Canadian address.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny that you should say that. I know that they're not a cosmetics brand, but have you ever heard of the makeup brush company Smith Cosmetics?
No.
SMITH. They've got a couple of brushes that I just love because it's like almost a spade shaped brush. Like it has kind of a point, but it's a flat brush with a point. And what I really like about it is getting into corners and corner work and stuff like that. But that said, they're a Canadian company, but the shipping is marron. Like, come on now. Like, I would love to buy more from a Canadian company.
Yeah.
But what's that? I think it's Beautylish. I think they sell out of their own website, but also Beautylish, where they have all of that kind of high-end stuff. And I'm like,
Beautylish, if you spend, I think, $30 Canadian, it's free. So I used to always buy their cleansing balm. So I'd buy their pack of 3 or whatever and get free shipping.
Yeah, so that's it. It makes more sense from the Canadian company to buy through Beautylish than to go through the Canadian company's direct website.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, and the same thing too, there's that, she's from Vancouver, Samantha Ravindal. I used to watch her all the time. And then she was the one who was the first person to be like, I'm not taking any PR. I'll only buy what I want. And everybody was like, oh, yay, Samantha. And then she was like, she decided to start a beauty brand. And I was so excited. I'm thinking, because she'd always complain that, oh, getting stuff to Canada is so expensive. The shipping is so gross. So she releases this brand. And I'm like, yes, made in America, ships from America. And the shipping is absolutely brutal. And it's like, I thought this was a problem. I would think as a Canadian, you would have corrected it. But no. So her products are high end, definitely for day walkers. And yeah. And millions of dollars of shipping. It's just like, forget it. So I stopped following her. I won't buy anything. Like, it's like, I'm done.
Well, she was another one for me, no offense, but the minute she became pregnant, that's what her channel became about. And I don't want to know about that.
Yeah, it's like Raw Beauty Christie. It's like, no.
I get it. This is what your life is now. I get it.
Yeah. And
I am going to now stop watching you. No offense.
Yeah.
But I also think that now that you're talking about this, you're probably going to get a whole bunch of new people watching.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. No, it's every once in a while I'll go back and see if she's not talking about baby, then I'll watch a full video with Raw Beauty Christie sometime. Every once in a while, something will pop up and I'll be like, oh, I've been kind of interested in that, whatever. So I'll watch it, and then if she doesn't talk about babies, then I'll watch the full thing. But as soon as baby comes out of her mouth, it's like click. Because it's not my thing, right? Like I'm here to watch you do makeup, not talk about your child. I'm so put that on your other channel when you're talking about your marketing in your house and your husband, right? Do that, and then that's totally fine. But
you have a vlog channel.
Yeah, she has a blog. Hey Amanda, glad you're here.
Which one, the Christie person or the suit?
Christie, Raw Beauty Christie. She has a blog that she does with her husband. It's like, keep all your family stuff to that, and then when you're doing makeup, do your makeup stuff. Do that strictly makeup, right? And then the people who want to hear about your life and what's going on can watch your other channel, and the people who are just to see your opinion on makeup and how you use makeup can watch that, right? But mixing the two, it just takes me out, because that's not my life, not my interest, right?
Yeah.
So Amanda, I know I just put your comment on screen, so I just want to say thanks for joining us. Yeah, you're not too late for the live.
We talk
way
Amanda. Too much. We talk way too much.
We've got just about another half hour, I'd say, to go. So
getting there.
I really love how each of your looks is developing so separately from that same palette.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Chloe and I took part in a mega collab. There was about 9 of us that are all Saints Angel Sinners affiliates, and I called us the Sassies, and we all did a look with the
Fairyland
Fairy Tale palette. And everyone's looks. There was no two looks. Everyone used different key colors in different ways. It was really, really impressive to see.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. I was like, anybody doing duplicates? And I think the only thing was, and I can't remember who it was, we both had green lipstick. And I think that was the only thing that was kind of in common. Other than that, everybody looked totally different. Yeah, it was like, great minds, woohoo.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, but
I have these P. Louise brushes that are just almost too nice to use.
Yeah, I only have one of the brushes. At some point, I'll pick up some of their.
I don't know why. I have a couple of powder brushes from there. It must have been in a box or something, but they're so, like, this is just a small one, but they're so luxurious. Like
yeah.
Just, I don't know. Look at the handle too. They bow out and then back in. So before the ferrule. So
yeah, the cosmic brushes are good too. I picked up one when I picked up the palettes. I thought, okay, well, I picked out 2, and then one, I guess, sold out while it was in my basket. So I was like, I'll find one. So if their Halloween palette, whenever they release the look, if the Halloween palette looks good and I pick it up, I might throw in a few extra brushes because I quite enjoyed using them. So
nice.
So forgive me, I'm not sure which brand this is, but Martha Anastasia is saying the Fairy Tale palette rocks.
Yeah, that's from Saint Angel Sinners.
I have to stop myself from using it. So every time, because I have so many palettes, and then every time I'm not filming and I want to do a look, it's like, out comes the fairy tale. And I did that yesterday. It's such a good palette.
You just find yourself always reaching for it.
Yeah. Like it's so good. Like I have a few of her other palettes too. I'm in the midst of doing kind of a video where I want to go through all the palettes I have, do some looks and go over it. So I've done one so far. I'm doing it in between shooting other stuff. So
I feel terrible. I have one ready to go. I just have to edit it. Because I realized that I think next to Juvia's Place, the next company I have the most makeup of is St. Angel Center. Now, I'm affiliated. She sends it to me. But I'll tell you, and I hope Darcy's still listening, I would buy a lot of it anyway because some of the formula, the shimmer, she has a sheer shimmer formula. It's so gorgeous. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
And then she's got a great black formula. Her blending, blendability in her makeup is excellent. My only thing is I have one of her all matte palettes. It's Swim Team. It's fantastic. I wish there were more palettes with mattes in them just for the variety for me, because I find sometimes the palettes that have shimmers, I'm not using all the palette. You know what I mean? That's me and how I use makeup.
Yeah, no, I mean, if I just had I think even though I'm like kind of like a crow and love shiny things, I think all matte palettes are kind of my favorite. So if I get a palette that doesn't have any shimmers in it, I'm like, I'm good. If I need something I can grab from somewhere else or a highlighter and use that to, to do on top or whatever. Or I've got the one from St. Angel Centers. Can't remember the name of it at the moment. The one in the hard plastic that's all like topper shades. Then
that's a gorgeous palette.
Yeah, so I could just throw one of those on top, right? So for to be, if most of my palettes were all matte, I'm totally cool with that, because that is my favorite formula. Even though, like I said, I've got crow-like tendencies, but.
Sorry, pardon me.
So, Chloe, Wilma, and anyone in the chat, I'm just curious, what's your makeup indulgence? What's the makeup product? You're like, you know what, I'm not skimping on this. This is the product this is the one that I absolutely have to have. Or like a one brand where you're like, I know I shouldn't, but I'm gonna spend the dough on this one.
Oh, if I could, like, if I had the money, because I only have one from each. So there's two brands that I would probably want if I had the money to spend: Glaminatrix and Adept. Those are the two that if I had the money, I'd be like, just add to cart, 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 add to cart. Like, just take it all. Just take all my money. Let's go. Like, and then the owner of Adept, she's also Gen X. So we always have that, about movies and stuff when she's basing stuff on stuff. It's like, oh, my childhood. We both agree that Christopher Reeves is the only Superman, that there is no other.
He flew. He actually flew. I was doing a commercial, and the man who was wiring me for sound or something, I don't know, he leaned in, and I'm sitting there just, wait, and I noticed he had a chain on, and there was a little Oscar on it, and I was like, he probably won an Oscar. So I said, what did you win the Oscar for? He goes, Superman. Like, he flew. He goes, right? It was, like to see somebody who's not just been involved but as proud,
Yeah,
that movie was so good. They wouldn't have kept making them if that one hadn't been as good.
Yeah, no, he is. Yeah, no. And then if they ever tried to do what's that movie?
Dean Cain is not Superman, no offense.
Yeah, if they ever try to redo Somewhere in Time, I will hunt down the director and end their existence. Like, you do not touch that. It's like Princess Bride. You do not touch that film. If you do, you will have to die. Like, yeah. And end of story. Those are the two movies you can't touch: Princess Bride or Somewhere in Time. Like, you just walk away from that thought. Like, no. Yeah. But Superman's become like almost like Spider-Man. It's just like, how many incarnations is there of it? Like, just stick to Tobey Maguire and stick to Christopher Reeve, and we're good.
Yeah, we've seen, like, just because you have a new Spider-Man doesn't mean we need to hear the beginning again.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
So we've got both Marthas agree on Christopher Reeve being the best. Both Martha.
Oh, Henry Cavill is just stunning. So he's good to look at, I have to say.
Well, I would like to say, although I agree that there is no other Superman than Christopher Reeve, I did not find him attractive. I didn't think he was he had thin lips, and I thought that he was charming as Superman. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
He was charming as Superman, and he was nerdy and geeky as Clark Kent, but he wasn't like, I think he was the perfect Superman because he wasn't too anything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As handsome as he was and as tall as he was and as fit as he was, he didn't really stand out. Like as Clark, he fell into the background.
Yeah.
Even though he was the biggest person in the room. As Superman, he totally stood out in the right ways. And like that costume wasn't padded and the effects were no CGI. Like, oh, it's all tangible, you know?
Yeah.
And that said, Henry Cavill.
Oh, Martha is also talking about Christopher Reeve. I don't know if you ever saw that movie Street Smart, but that is a really good Christopher Reeve movie too.
The only other Christopher Reeve movie I ever saw was Switching Channels with Burt Reynolds and Kathleen Turner.
Oh my gosh,
that's good too.
Which is a remake of His Gal Friday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love Cary Grant. Yeah. No, you have to watch. You have to watch Somewhere in Time with Christopher Reeve and Jane Seymour. You have to.
Is that right?
Yeah, that movie up until his death. I don't think they did it afterwards, but the movie came out in 84, 85, somewhere around there. For like 20 odd years, every year, Jane Seymour, Christopher Reeve would show up at that island where they filmed the movie, and fans could come, and they had like meet and greets and whatever for that film for like 20 years, for like over 20 years. Yeah, it is like a cult favorite, and it's so romantic and so sad. You'll need a box of Kleenex for the movie, but it's one of the most beautiful movies ever. And you'll be the same. You'll be like, if you remake that movie, you're out of here.
Yeah, totally. So I just double checked it. It says Somewhere in Time was in 1980.
80, see, so even older, right? So I know until he may even have done one when he was in a wheelchair, but I know they had for years done where they came to and did events there.
Oh, I love that. Oh, and Martha Anastasia is also mentioning Death Trap. That was the movie he was in with Michael
I saw
Caine.
Death Trap. Okay, I've seen 3 movies. Pardon me. Yeah, I did see that. So
I'm really loving all of this Christopher Reeve love that we're.
I worked with Christopher Reeve on Road to Avonlea.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, right. I forgot that he was. Yeah.
Yeah, before his accident, and he was an he's a horseman, and that's how he had his accident. Was on a horse, but he was he was doing a horse stunt on Road to Avonlea, and unfortunately, whoever was managing the dogs weren't managing them very well, and the dog was barking at his horse. And he was starting to have trouble controlling his horse because of the dog. So he kicked the dog. And it wasn't wrong what he did. Like, you know what I mean? But there were a couple of people on set who aren't horse people or animal people. Like, there was nobody controlling the dog. And he couldn't let his horse go crazy or what have. Anyway, it was just this weird situation. I wasn't there, but that was all anyone talked about. Christopher Reeve kicked the dog. It's like, well, which dog?
Yeah, I mean, if he was
Some dogs need kicking. Let's just go.
No, but I mean, if he was on the horse and the dog was near them and barking, I can see maybe he took his foot and kind of pushed the dog away, and then
he wasn't walking by it and kicking it on the ground.
Yeah, so it's not like so he probably just, and everybody's like, oh, he's kicked the dog, and it was like, well, it was coming at the horse. He pushed it out of the way, right? Carrie.
I grew up with a grandfather who was very country-minded. Like, so if there was an animal that got run over by a car in the street, he'd pick up a shovel and kill it.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, if it was suffering.
Because there's not much going on. You're not like today where people will spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on their animals. Bless them.
That's me.
Bless them. Like, come on.
But I think Carrie Kay's ears were burning because she's here, and we were just talking about her a couple minutes ago.
Carrie, we were so talking about you. Oh, my God. I love you, Carrie Kay. I was talking about your It review this morning. and how impressed I am by your resolve to not buy every friggin' thing just because it's stamped with something you like. I love that. I love seeing what you choose, and I also like to hear if you're let down by it or not. And you do such a good review.
Yeah, and she's
And
a
you're
huge
so transparent too.
Revolution
That's the
fan.
thing too. It's so hard to find people that are transparent this day.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Heather was saying that the gazebo from Somewhere in Time is still an attraction.
Yeah, and that island allows no cars. So there's no cars allowed on the island.
I don't know what y'all are talking about because I've not seen this
Christopher
movie.
Reeve, yes. You know what? I highly recommend. It's been a few years since I've seen it, but yes, it's a perennial favorite. Like, it's a really great one to see.
What time of year is it usually aired? Valentine's?
Chloe, you tell me. I'm not sure what.
For what? I missed the question.
Somewhere in Time. Like, what season would you say is a good Somewhere in Time?
Oh, in the show, I think it feels more like summertime because it was kind of like a resort where people would go to back in I think it was the 1800s. So yeah, and everything was like horse and buggy or crank up car. But in real life, the island, there's no cars allowed. I don't know if it's changed now, but I know, back in the day,
At the time.
what it was. Yeah, it was no cars allowed. The hotel is still there. You can go stay at the hotel, and yeah. I usually watch it at least once a year. I have it on DVD. So.
I have never heard of this movie.
Oh my god.
Honestly, I'm with Chloe. Definitely, I co-sign. Definitely see Somewhere in Time.
Yeah, you should see it. It's got to be on Prime or Crave, or so it's got to be on.
Oh, I'm sure I'll
something.
find it. Yeah, I'll have a look now.
Yeah.
I'm not a
Or
huge Jane Seymour fan. I don't know. It's not that I don't like her, but I don't think I ever saw Dr. Quinn. And short of her being in a James Bond movie, I mean, I know who she is. She was just part of the pop culture of my generation growing up. But
she's Serena from Battlestar Galactica. So if you watch the original Battlestar Galactica, she was supposed to be on there longer, but she was killed off after I think 2 episodes or 3 episodes.
The very original with Dirk Benedict.
Yeah. She was Apollo's.
Is that right? Oh, I'll have to watch.
Apollo's wife. Yeah, it was Apollo's wife, and then he ends up raising her son when she gets killed.
Oh.
Spoiler alert! If you've not seen the original Battlestar Galactica, sorry.
It's funny with all the talk about Christopher Reeve. He had this really small part, but he's sort of a villain in it. There was this Emma Thompson, Anthony Hopkins movie called Remains of the Day.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
He has a bit part in it as an American fascist. So if you want a bad guy Christopher Reeve movie, that's the bad guy.
Does he have a mustache in that?
You know what? I think he does.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah, I have back in the day. Yeah. No, it's like one of my favorite actors is Rutger Hauer, and I refuse to watch The Hitcher because I don't want to see him as a bad guy. I love him so much. He's my Lady Hawk. He's, so every time at The Hitcher comes on,
good in Lady Hawk, Michelle Pfeiffer. Shut up!
It's one of the best movies ever too. So it's like, so I will never watch The Hitcher because because my mom was like, oh no, my mom's like, don't. He is bad. No, I'm a huge Rutger Hauer fan, like huge. When he died, I was pretty.
You know who melts my butter? Clancy Brown.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Since
Highlander.
I was gonna say Highlander.
I have been. Yes, Mr. Brown. Hey.
Did you ever watch Earth 2? It was one season.
Everything he's been in, I've seen.
Yeah. Oh, I have that on DVD, and I love him on there. Yeah. Love me some Clancy.
He was just in something. He was in the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, he was all right in it, but it was such a bad movie. Yeah.
I've seen something else with him recently too, a TV show or something as well, but I can't remember. But
Chloe, I struck a nerve in the chat. A lot of Lady Hawk fans. Adore Lady Hawk.
Right?
Martha, Lady Hawk is so good. Love Rutger Hauer.
Yes.
mentioning that his mother's maiden name is Howard.
I thought he was going to say
Like that
Lady
we
Hawk.
dream he's a relative. Yeah. You know, even when he was older and he did that movie Hobo with a Shotgun, so good.
Right.
So good. So good.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, but that homo, we got a shotgun. Woo!
Yeah, no. Any, like I said, anything but the Hitcher. I cannot. I will not.
That's too funny.
But
I've been sitting here not doing my eyebrows like some yabo. And I was loving this. There's one neutral in this, so I'm going to have to do a very restricted. All right.
Well, David is saying that Someone Time is currently on Prime in Canada, I guess, but it looks like he's saying that maybe you have to pay.
you have to pay for it.
Maybe.
Well,
And
if you can buy it, it's worth it.
Oh,
you want
amazing.
to watch it all the time.
And you know, Chloe, total respect that you don't want to watch the Hitcher, but both Martha and I are on Hitcher was good. So even though he is a bad guy, I also think it's a good movie. But I will say this: at the time, Siskel and Ebert hated that movie. They hated the Hitcher, hated it hard. But
It did well, though.
It did really well. Yeah, I think that was one of the movies besides Lady Hawk. I think that kind of like was like he was on fire at that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
How much time do we have left, Candace?
Oh, we've got somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes. So let's call that 17 minutes.
Okay. We're stopping at a certain time because Candace has a life. She's very famous. She's very busy. I don't understand why you all don't understand that. But we're going to.
He's more popular than we are, Wilma.
It also gives us. You know what? I said to her today, it embarrasses me. I'm not paying.
You know
Normally, the pay is I give her a camera and y'all see this brilliant, talented, funny raconteuress who keeps Toronto guessing what next is coming out of her mouth. That.
I'm glad you said mouth.
Well, I almost didn't. I almost didn't.
A lot of options.
There we go.
A lot of options.
Yeah, that's why you're so popular. But anyway, so so she's got to frig off, but it also gives us a chance, Chloe and I, to change into our orange shirts.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll give you a 15-minute call just
Yeah,
so that everyone can.
I'm doing a quick brow. Only 2 colors today.
There you go.
So I was doing makeup with Wilhelmina yesterday, and I'll tell you, both of us, it was like we were born under a bad sign. Wilhelmina normally gets a little frustrated at how slow she goes compared to me. But the 2 things that Wilhelmina has going against her is she's not artistic. She hasn't got an artistic background on any level. She's a doctor and a scientist. So even the way she writes with a pen, like she has to have that crappy handwriting. She's a doctor. So she like a serial
She's
killer.
like me. She buys the art.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and her partner Jeffrey is a brilliant illustrator. I have one of his books here, and he's so funny. But so this is really the first foray that Wilhelmina's had into color theory and all of that. So I've been trying to ease her into concepts and stuff, and because it's hard to explain color theory to somebody. Yeah. Like sometimes when I'm trying to do it, like this is so monochromatic for me, I feel like I'm underdressed somehow. But a lot of people aren't used to using colors at all. And when I went to art school, I could not paint to save my life. Oh, I'm using a new setting spray. It is Rude Cosmetics, which I have to say is one of the best North American independent brands for variety, good price point, and I have some of their cosmetic paints. This is one of them. It's called a Rainbow Spiked, and they have like every color like Juvia's Place does, but they're not priced.
Yeah, I love the liner that you sent me from them.
Yeah, and then of course Suva is Canadian. They have a similar line too, but Rude Cosmetics has some really good palettes. I'm gonna go ahead and say they're better for day walkers. But I've had a couple of the palettes. Now I want to say, in full disclosure, I don't have any here now. I've gifted them all out, but I only had 2 or 3. But they weren't as deep as I needed some of them to go. I blame the palette color story, not the quality of the makeup. They just didn't have the right tones in one palette, like the 2 palettes that I bought. But I love their, this setting spray is fantastic. Their, those cosmetic paints, that's what I use for my eyeliner today. I've been having such issue with eyeliner. So I've been using cosmetic paints instead, and they seem to be doing much better. And then,
oh, good job, Martha.
I had a setting powder of theirs that was excellent. It was in a small container, though. I don't like. It's not that I don't like setting powder in a container that's small because there's not a lot there. It's because I can't get the powder puff in it. You know what I mean? It's not helpful. So that's the only reason I don't like a small container for. What I've done is I had some Maron powder. Maron's a great makeup company for stage. And I had one of their powders, but it's in a small container like this. And what I did was I put it into one of the empty airspun containers I had because they're huge. So
for affordable powders,
as long as I know I like it.
Have you tried RCMA? Their powder is affordable. It comes in a shaker. It's really good. Yeah, it's one of my
RCMA.
favorite.
Is that the name of the company?
Yeah, you can get them through Beautylish will sell them. Yeah, they do they're more for like film and TV, but you can buy and makeup artists, but
that's the kind of thing I need.
Yeah. Oh no, their powder. It's like you can get a big shaker for I think it's like $9, and then you can just pour it into. Yeah, it's so cheap. It's so good. You can get it in like bright white, and that's the one I normally get is the translucent white one. That I really like. I haven't had it in a while because I've kind of fallen in love with the Fenty lavender powder, but if you want a good affordable, and if you go to Beautylish, like I said, you just got to pay $30 Canadian, and then they ship it for free, and you just pay the tax when you buy it, and you get no duty through Beautylish.
Okay, fam, just making the 15-minute call. We got 15 minutes left. Woo! If you have questions or comments, get them in.
Us to get a shirt on. Yeah, I was going to finish this last lash, so I'll go put my shirt on and then do lips.
Woo-hoo. Carrie, I see your comments in the story about your grandpa dealing with dementia. So sorry to hear about that.
That's the worst. My grandmother had Alzheimer's. It was awful. It was absolutely awful. Yeah. I wouldn't recommend that on my worst enemy, to be absolutely honest.
It doesn't run in my family, but my mother was adopted. Like everyone always says, oh, it doesn't run in the family. It's like, yeah, your family.
Yeah.
I'm not related to you.
I'm a lot like my grandmother, so I'm worried that I will definitely have it. I'm tempted to go because you can get checked for the gene, so I'm tempted to do that. So that way I can have a fair warning.
You know what? And I'm seeing so many comments in the chat about different people who, with their relatives, they're having to either start to deal with people, the onset of dementia, or they're continuing to. So, you know what? All my love to you and wishing you like patience and the ability to fortitude. I just wish you fortitude as you make your way through that.
And also, let's just cheers anybody who works in healthcare.
Absolutely.
Period. Yeah. Goddesses and gods, all of them. Well, maybe not the doctors as much. The nurses.
I'm gonna go change out of my Wilma for my orange.
Yeah, I'm doing a horse switch on camera here. I think what's her name? Jennifer Beal does this better.
Oh my gosh, flash dance! You gotta love a flash dance reference.
Well, this isn't a bra; it's a t-shirt, and it doesn't unhook nowhere. But then neither do I. So.
Oh, that's a lovely.
Isn't this cute little asymmetrical number?
Yeah. And again, it's kind of a reference, a bit of a callback to today in Canada being the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation and it being Orange Shirt Day. So I love that you've got an orange shirt on, Martha. So thanks so much for that. We've, you know, if you are able to go back and look into the, there we go. Here's Chloe with her orange shirt.
Fabulous.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love your hair, Chloe.
Thank you. Contemplating if I should grow my fringe out or if I should still keep it short. But, oh, wrong way. There we go.
Well, you can grow it out while you're thinking about it.
Yeah, and then I can still cut it after, yeah. I'm going to go to the hairdresser in a week or so I can get ready for Halloween.
Oh, I see.
I need roots done. I need roots done. So now I have to decide if I want to wear my Limitless. But then I also got my Lovelace Cosmetics order came in, and they don't have on their boxes or on the thing what color it was. So I ordered 2 different colors. One was kind of a yellow, and then one is kind of like a bronzy shade. So I don't know which one I should wear. So there's that. Aw, that's beautiful, Amanda.
Amanda, thank you for your comments about the orange shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Well, it's one of my favorite colors, so I can't let the day go by anyway.
Okay.
What are you showing us, Chloe?
I got these 2 from Lovelace lipsticks. So I don't know if I should wear one of those or if I should wear my Limitless, which is that shade there. So what do you think? Should we try which one should I?
I can't see them from here, but Candace is giving them a good look.
You know what? I like the one that's closest to your wrist.
This one?
Yeah.
The Limitless? Okay, let's do it. Right, Carrie? Yeah, my favorite too. Orange and green. And yellow. I like yellow too. But I think if I had to have 3 favorite eyeshadow colors, green, yellow, and orange.
Oh, Candace, there it is.
And there we go. Limitless is on. Ah, hair glue. I just had to wash that out this morning. Out of my hair.
It's hanging right in my face. Can't stand it.
Oh, smart. Look at that. I even put on lashes
I don't need
for
to
you.
suffer like this. Like an animal.
Carrie was saying she feels like a potato today.
Oh no, why?
Oh, just I think this. Steph said that Carrie was a superwoman, and then Carrie said she felt like a potato woman.
Well, potatoes are
like
super,
on that
Carrie,
Instagram
just
thing.
saying.
I am a potato. I love that so much.
Woman in this episode. Well, orange is my favorite. Look at my drapes orange. I love orange.
They are.
Yes. Orange is fabulous. Yes.
Here I am putting lipstick on in my wig. I never do this. I don't know why I did it.
Dare to be different occasionally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had fun with this. I think it's good. I'll definitely use it some more. It's green. All right. Well, I have the fancy lights on. Take a few photos.
I love it when I draw my lips crooked and I end up looking like Big Gay Al.
Big Gay Al. I have not thought about Big Gay Al in so long, but now I want to go watch the movie.
Hello there. And he's just got that That little on his mouth. There's something on my lips, and they look like that. It makes me crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Orange is the New Black. Yeah. I loved that show.
Was good.
Though I
Oh,
watched the Australian version, but when the one character was not to give spoilers away, ended up being off the show, I couldn't watch any further. I couldn't get back into it after the one character was off. It was like
Wentworth?
Yeah,
that was done way before Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, but that's what I think Orange is the New Black was kind of based off of, I believe.
No, it was based off of a woman who actually was a writer and went to jail.
Oh, okay. But they had similar.
It's autobiographical.
But they had the similar story for Wentworth and. Is
that right?
Yeah.
Oh, then maybe it happened a longer time ago than.
Yeah, maybe. They may have loosely taken it off the book, and then this was because Orange is the New Black had the actual author writing on it and stuff, right? So
yeah.
But the story in Wentworth was quite similar. So when the one character was gone, it was like, okay, I'm good. I don't need to watch it anymore. The worst lipstick
in my life. So crooked.
Right? Yeah, I was using my Over the Rainbow. There you go. Palette there. And then I used a little bit of the green and a little bit of the orange.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah. I always forget what the brand is called. Since my memory is shoddy. Rising Star. Yeah. Oh, thanks for coming, Steph. That's so awesome.
She off? Yeah, have a great afternoon, doll.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's been fun too.
Yes, this is a great one. I had a good time. And I still have the rest of my day because I am on West Coast time. So I still have a lot of my day left.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, Sylvia, you're sweet. Yeah, they do both look amazing.
Sylvia is it Germany? Sylvia Manroe in Germany?
She's in the Netherlands, but she works in Germany.
She's got a great channel too. She's always trying something out.
Yeah, but she hasn't been on in a while. Like I said, I miss her face.
Well, she's very famous.
To see her more. Yeah.
God, that's the worst lipstick in the world, but it's better than it was a minute ago.
I know. To do it really good, you have to really kind of spend the time. So it's a little hard.
Your hair.
Mine. This is my fat Madonna wig. From Ray of Light. This was a wig somebody sent me, and it's not a lace front. And it was dead split, and flat wigs don't look good on me. So what I did was I teased, teased in here to give it just a bit of room. And yeah, I need to contour heavier for it if I'm wearing it, but yeah, it's not too bad. But yeah, I don't mind it. But yeah, so this is my orange shirt. It's an asymmetrical. I got a sleeve over here, and then this.
Oh, doing the flash dance thing. There we go.
Wow, alluring.
I'm sorry, what? What limousine I have to get in where? Oh, I couldn't possibly. I'm so confused and falling out of my top. I don't know where that came from. I apologize to each and every one. This is great lipstick.
Right? It's like so.
Yeah. I can put it on well, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think because it's a satin, it's nice with a lip liner. But for quickly putting it on,
I lined, but I used a shitty liner. I don't think I've ever used it before. It was so dry and gross. This is what the lasting. Oh, Rimmel, the lasting something. I hated this.
Here we go. No Rimmel. No Rimmel.
I just can't. I don't keep stuff I don't like.
Yeah.
It's like when you have like a lighter that doesn't work or a pen that doesn't work, and you keep it and you keep grabbing it and you spend 5 minutes thinking, I can bring it back to life, and you can't.
No. Denied.
You can't let it die. It's just a lighter.
Yeah.
Just a lip liner. The only thing is, some lip liners are $30 friggin' and they still suck.
So are you saying this is this not drag queen approved?
I like this.
Yeah?
I didn't do it justice.
Yeah.
I kind of rushed putting my lips on because I wanted to kind of finish the look and have the whole thing. What is Carrie Kay saying? Is she saying hateful things?
You both look amazing.
I feel like a ray of light. My fat Madonna. When I first got this wig, it looked good as Fat Madonna. I remember saying Fat Madonna to somebody, and they were like, "Oh my God, now it needs to be reset or something." I don't know, but yeah, I like this. I made this top for. I wonder if it goes this way.
I think I have a lipstick in that color.
Do any way you want. But I made this top for a review of Drag Race where they were talking about Trump, and I wanted to have something orange on.
Oh.
And so I made it, and it's literally thick. It's a t-shirt fabric, but a heavy one. It's the most comfortable thing on. And when I made it, I had pinned pearls to it, so they were kind of attached, but they looked weird out of context. So I took them off. And just thought, you know what? Orange shirt day, not orange and pearls shirt day. So,
there you go. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is it. I think this is. I have to say, okay. If we were drag queen approving this palette, it would not get drag queen approval. That doesn't mean it's not a good palette. This is a great palette. If you were one of the lucky people who got this, and I'm sure Carrie, if she didn't get it, she knew, because there was a huge, Carrie, wasn't there a huge kerfluffle? Somebody duped the palette before they released this, and Doodles and Milan Rowe, they just lost their mind and it affected sales.
I'm not sure.
She needs some orange clothes. I just remember there being an issue with this palette, and I never bothered buying it. At the time, there weren't a lot of green palettes. I think the thing that's hurting this palette now, which is not really hurting it because you can't get it anymore anyway, but the problem with this palette is it has no longevity compared to the way makeup has been developing, especially when we have had these monochromatic palettes from Beauty Bay, P. Louise, even Be Perfect did their Compass with different neutrals.
Yeah.
Not neutrals, monochromatics. I just feel there are better green palettes out there. In fact, P. Louise has those tapes.
Yeah, I heard those are really
good. They have a green one that is gorgeous. BH Cosmetics Pistachio palette is green. This isn't. This is a look that's going to take you through your day, through your week. You could go to a wedding with this palette. You go to work with this palette. You go out at night with this palette. It's fine. But I think if you were looking to get some drama out of it, you'd need another palette with it. I'm not saying this isn't good. It's just as a standalone, I don't feel it is. How about you?
I loved it. But then again, there hasn't been a green palette that I haven't liked. So unless it was ColourPop, then of course, because everything they make is garbage. But no, I really liked it. But yeah, I same thing too. I think this is about as dramatic as you're gonna get putting on the green glitter with it. But I think for an everyday makeup wear, if you like all the different shades of green, and it does have the black, it does have a red and a little bit of blue in there. So yeah, I like it, and especially for the fact that we paid $12 for it, I like it even better.
Yeah, no, it's even better at $12. If I paid $60 for it, I would be like.
Yeah, because it was $50 US, so that would have been like.
And again, at the time that this came out last year, the beginning of last year, I think it was an early.
And then and then it was $20 to ship it, so it would have been $70 Canadian. Add American, add 30% to that, so you're looking close to $100 to have gotten the palette to us. So to get $12 each plus $20 shipping was just basically one palette altogether, right? So of the original cost. Sorry, Carrie, but yeah, ColourPop.
Why is your ColourPop palette crying? Why is that happening?
Her collection, yeah. No, because I hate ColourPop. Everything I've got.
So do I. Oh, I hate ColourPop.
Either defective.
I have to say, lately, as somebody who doesn't I don't buy them or Revolution. That doesn't stop me from watching Carrie's videos on them because I do like to see what's happening.
Oh, some of the colors are beautiful. Yeah.
But ColourPop lately has been showing some really well warranted restraint. They're not like pooping out things every week or in succession. Like, it's been a hot minute since stuff has come out. And I feel like they haven't really inundated Halloween the way they did last year. They were the only company, I think, last year that really did a lot for Halloween. They had the Hocus Pocus palette. They had a couple things going on. But But yeah, I do like ColourPop in theory, but I don't like how they run as a company. That's all. Their product, there is nothing wrong with their products.
No, I was watching a gal do a declutter, and she was going, and so she started with like her Super Shocks or whatever, and then it was, oh yeah, I just got this one a little while ago. Oh, it's dry. It's dry. I can't use it. Gone. Oh, here's the next one. I love this color. Oh, it's dry. I can't use it. So I would say like she ended up like a quarter of them ended up being garbage because they were already dried out, and she didn't even have them that long and didn't have a chance to really enjoy them. So it's like,
that's something I noticed too with a lot of these declutter videos, because I love a declutter video because I don't declutter. I just give stuff to Candace. Well, before you go, take this one, slip that in your dance bag, you know, that kind of thing. But I do like watching a declutter video, and here's why. I love seeing what people are getting rid of in retrospect to what was the big hype. And the majority of palettes that people to a reviewer get rid of the most is ColourPop. And I'm sure that ratio is high because of the amount they put out. If they put out less, I think people would declutter it less. I just think that they've really set themselves up to be one of those fast makeup companies where it's like, I can forget this palette because there'll be something very similar in a better package coming next month. Yeah,
because I'll have a palette with 8 Super Shock shadows, 3 this and this brushes and whatever. Yes, Carrie, Cosmic Brushes is where it's at. And if they don't show us what that Halloween palette looks like soon, I'm going to lose my ever-loving mind. I need to know, because I'm only going to buy one more Halloween palette, so I need to know what it looks like.
I'm not buying anything, and I have to tell you, I'm so enjoying watching all of this come in. I really wanted to get Chucky. I really wanted to get Ghostface because I think the two of them together are the perfect Halloween palette. But I'm not. I can't afford it, and I don't need. I'm good. You know what I mean? I don't need those things. Do I want them? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Do they help me pay my rent? Yeah. Unless they help me whore up. And maybe I'll get my rent paid.
Eat makeup.
That we were at time. So I just wanted to say, do you have any concluding thoughts about your look, about the day? Anything that you found was interesting that you weren't expecting out of this palette or look?
I liked it. I'm gonna say. Although it's not drag queen approved, I think this is a good palette. I think it's got a lot of versatility. The pigments are great. Don't get me wrong. I just feel this color story could use a tone or two deeper and a tone or two lighter. I always get frustrated with a palette that doesn't have a black or a white. And the only reason is because sometimes, what black and white should I get? You know, and I try to remember which palette has one. If everyone had one, we wouldn't have this problem. But again, I don't think that's a problem. I think that this could be a great one and done. I think that this could be a great one and a bit of shimmer for a wedding or an evening out. You don't need a lot of this to make an impact as a day walker. But as a drag queen, in my opinion, I would use this with other things. Like there's only one brown for my eyebrows. I would like at least one other lighter tone, like maybe that tone, but not gray. But for a green palette, all of these blues and greens and grays in here are all excellent for each other. Just a little close in tone for me. That's all.
Yeah. No, I agree with all that. Yeah. And then I would just like to say that if everybody just wants to take a little bit to kind of reflect on, you know, what day it is today, and, you know, the children, you know, put out some good thoughts there for the children and for the, you know, and for the families. And if you did want to watch a documentary or one of the films that's out on Netflix or Prime or Crave or whatever, that might something you might want to do with your
the series Three Oaks. I have to tell you, some of the Canadian actors that are in it, it's just feel like, from a Canadian point of view, these are people we don't see in film or TV near as much as they should. So talented. I also want to tell Marcia Anastasia that Juvia's Place is having a sale this weekend. How much is it, Chloe?
It's their secret $4 sale. So there's a whole bunch of stuff
at like $4 right now are $4. Full pans, full palettes, $4. So if you are thinking of getting a couple of palettes, my lover, this might be the weekend to give it a go. Just let you know.
Yes.
There, my service to the world is done.
And Juvia's Place is Daywalker and Drag Queen approved.
Yes, approved. Yeah, and also neither of us are getting any money from them. No, they've never sent me anything for free. I've never gotten paid a red cent. They don't even post my reviews, so I don't owe them anything. I just really do like them as a company. So.
100%. Yeah.
Candace Gregoris, thank you so much for
Yes.
moderating. It makes it so much easier
welcome.
for Chloe and I to be pretty when somebody else is doing all the heavy lifting.
Yeah. So
Oh,
appreciated.
Carrie Kay's getting the new mouth. I knew you would. The minute I saw the packaging, Carrie, I knew you were getting it. But I want to say, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Also, feel free to share this video or my YouTube channel, especially for anyone who loves Drag Race. I have a bunch of That's So Wilma's planned to film. I'm trying to get my Death Becomes Her movie and makeup done for Halloween. So I'm trying to do that. I've also got a bunch of videos that I filmed. I just haven't had time to edit. And I'm hoping, because I've just been busy with sewing, Carlotta Carlisle is a demanding drag queen, and I am more than happy at the prices she pays to give her my time. So I just apologize if things aren't coming out as quickly as they are. Also, I keep forgetting to post things on the community tab. I realize I can keep you all posted by keeping you posted, but I forget. I'm sorry. But if you ever need, if you ever question, if you ever, I have helped people with their makeup over the internet. I've just had good chats with people. Like if you, my email, which is Wilma Fingerdoo, SRSLY @gmail.com.
Seriously.
You can always a request for a video, a request for a film review. I don't guarantee I'll get to them, but I will take them on, and I do enjoy the interaction. Also, there's the Patreon page where the Fingerdoo family meet twice a month. We're actually meeting tomorrow. I have to post that.
Yes.
But we're meeting again tomorrow, and that's twice a month with them. And I have some stuff as I get regulated now that I'm out of the hospital and everything, and I kind of get regulated back into living. I'm trying to get a schedule organized that helps me get to a lot of this stuff. And right now, I feel like I'm behind the 8 ball. I still have to film the finale of Drag Race Down Under, and I'm editing UK episode 1, which I did with Wilhelmina Box Parts last night, this weekend as well. So it's like, but I'll get to it all. So thank you all for your support. Thank you all for your friendship and your love and your interest. And please share any video.
Sharing is caring.
I'm not saying that. That's Teresa.
Well, you don't want to finish that sentence?
No, I don't think all sharing is caring. I think sometimes sharing is a setup, and you're going to get what you deserve. And on that charming, trustworthy note, thank you all so much for joining us. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay beautiful, even if it is only on the inside. And until next time, miss me! Mwah! Thank you, guys.
Bye.